Long ago and far away, in enchanted lands across the seas, lived kings and queens, princes and princesses, good fairies and wicked witches, ferocious giants and gentle dwarfs. Their adventures and stories have been told for hundreds of years. Open the pages and listen to the words, and you too can join the magical world of Once Upon a Time. Aladdin.
Once upon a time, in a city right in the middle of ancient Arabia, lived a boy called Aladdin. His father, a poor tailor called Mustafa, had tried very hard to teach him a trade, but Aladdin was an idle boy, far too busy getting up to tricks to learn anything. So when his poor father died, worn out by hard work, the burden of making a living was left to Aladdin's mother. She earned what little money she could by spinning and selling cotton. One day, Aladdin was idly loitering in the city square when a stranger came up to him and said, "Your face looks familiar to me. What is your name?" "My name is Aladdin," the boy replied. "Aha! Now I know who you are. You are the son of my poor dead brother Mustafa," the stranger told him. "Your father was my favorite brother, and I miss him badly. I would love to come and visit your mother again and talk about the old days." Little did Aladdin know that the stranger wasn't really his uncle at all, but he was a famous magician from Africa. Aladdin rushed home to his mother and told her to prepare for his uncle's visit. "That's funny," said his mother. "I thought your father's only brother died some years ago." Nevertheless, she still busied herself preparing the meal with the little food she had left in the house. That evening, the magician arrived at Aladdin's house. His disguise was so clever that Aladdin and his mother were fooled into thinking he really was Mustafa's brother. He greeted them both with great emotion, and they had a pleasant evening talking about the old days. A few days later, the false uncle went back to Aladdin's house again. "Come, my friend," said his uncle. "Today we are going on a little journey." He took Aladdin along a road leading out of the city, and as they came towards the mountains, he told the boy incredible stories of treasure and beautiful places to keep him interested and stop him running away. Eventually, they came to two mountains that were divided by a narrow valley. "We're almost there, my friend," said the uncle. "Go and gather some sticks from the mountainside." Aladdin did as he was told and brought the sticks back to the magician. The magician then set light to two of them and tossed a mysterious-looking perfumed powder onto the red and yellow flames. A mass of thick smoke rose up, and the uncle uttered some strange words. A slight trembling sound followed, and the earth opened up to reveal a stone slab with a bronze ring that was sealed to its center. Aladdin was ready to run, but the magician grabbed him by the arm and said, "Under this stone lies treasure that will make you richer than anyone in the whole world. If you take hold of this bronze ring and utter the names of your father and grandfather, you will be able to raise this stone with ease." At the mention of treasure, Aladdin soon forgot all his fears and held the bronze ring, repeating the names of his father and grandfather over and over again.
Mustafa Salim, Mustafa Salim.
The stone came up quite easily, and a row of steps appeared. "Go down," the magician told him. "At the bottom of these steps, you will find an open door that leads into 3 large halls. Go through these, but don't touch anything at all. Keep on walking until you come to a garden full of fine fruit trees. Then keep going until you come to another set of steps. At the top of the steps you'll find a little ledge where a lighted lamp sits. You must bring that lamp straight to me. Don't hesitate, don't explore, just come straight back to me. Do you understand? The magician said impatiently. Then he took a ring out of his pocket and put it on Aladdin's finger. This will bring you good luck, he said. Aladdin did exactly what the magician had told him to do. He passed through the rooms without touching anything, until finally he came to the fruit trees. The fruits that hung on the branches of these incredible trees were no ordinary fruits. They were huge, sparkling rubies, diamonds, and sapphires the size of eggs. Aladdin picked as many jewels as he could and stuffed them straight into his pockets. When he had all the jewels he could carry, and he'd found the lamp, he walked back to the entrance of the cave. The magician was waiting for him, but Aladdin kept the lamp tucked tightly in his shirt and wouldn't part with it. "Give that lamp to me!" said the magician, stamping his feet on the ground with anger. He had known all along that the magic lamp could make him the most powerful man in the world, and though it was only he who knew where the magic lamp was, he knew he could only receive it from the hand of another. This was why he had picked Aladdin. He was intending to take the lamp from him and kill him afterwards. Still in a furious temper, the magician said some magic words, and the stone rolled back. Poor Aladdin was trapped.
Uncle! Come back, what are you doing? Uncle!
Aladdin stayed in the dark for 2 days, crying his heart out. In the end, he clasped his hands together in prayer, and as he did this, he rubbed the ring which the magician had forgotten to take back. As he did this, an ancient genie with pointed ears and a mysterious smile rose up into the cave and hovered above him. "Do what you will with me. I am the slave of the ring and will obey you in all things," said the genie. Aladdin made a quick reply. "Take me away from this place," he said, and straight away the earth opened, and he found himself outside in the fresh air. He was out of the vault at last. As soon as he could muster enough strength, he walked straight home. His mother found the stories of his amazing adventures hard to believe. "A cave full of trees with jewels hanging from their branches. You must have been dreaming, my son," said his mother. Then Aladdin emptied his pockets and showed her all the fabulous jewels, so she couldn't doubt him any longer. As he hadn't eaten for days, Aladdin asked his mother for some food. "You poor child," she said. "I have nothing in the house, but I've spun a little cotton and will go and sell it." "No, mother, don't worry. I will sell the lamp instead. All it needs is a little clean." Straight away his mother began to rub it, hoping that the cleaner it was, the higher price it would fetch. And as she was rubbing it, a huge genie appeared. This genie was far more terrifying than the genie of the ring, with its bushy orange beard and shock of orange hair.
"I am the slave of the lamp."
Aladdin's mother fainted when she saw it, but Aladdin, who knew exactly how to treat genies, said, "Fetch me something to eat." The genie returned a few seconds later with a little table full of delicious morsels, before disappearing in a puff of smoke. Aladdin's mother soon came too, and when she saw the splendid feast before her, she asked, "Where did all this come from?" "Don't ask, just eat," said Aladdin. So they sat and ate until they were full, and as they ate, Aladdin told his mother about the genie of the lamp. For several years, Aladdin and his mother continued to live a quiet life, until one day, Aladdin heard a proclamation from the Sultan. He declared that everyone was to stay at home and close the shutters, while the princess, his daughter, walked out of the palace to her bathing chamber. This made Aladdin very curious, and he was determined to see the princess's face, but this was difficult as she always wore a veil. He didn't give up easily, and managed to hide himself behind the door of the bathing chamber in the palace gardens. The princess lifted her veil as she went in, and she looked so lovely that Aladdin fell in love with her at first sight. When Aladdin returned to his mother's house, he was so changed that his mother was frightened. He told her that he loved the princess so much that he could not live without her, and was going to ask her to marry him. His mother burst out laughing when she heard this, but she still agreed to go to the Sultan and ask him if Aladdin could marry his daughter. She fetched a napkin and put the jewels from the cave in it. She took the napkin to the Sultan in the hope that he'd look at them, but he took no notice of her. She went to his palace every day for a week, and at last, on the 6th day, he asked her what she wanted. "My son, Aladdin, wants to marry your daughter," she said, and then she laid out the jewels in front of him. "I am impressed," said the Sultan. "If someone doesn't offer me more riches in return for my daughter within the next 3 months, Aladdin can marry my daughter." After 3 months, Aladdin's mother went to the palace to remind the Sultan of his promise. But the Sultan saw how poor and ill she looked, and said, "I haven't forgotten my promise, but if your son really wants to marry my daughter, he must send me an army full of slaves to attend me at the palace."
It's time to turn over to side 2.